Hey YouTube, this is your girl BeckyDenise back with another claims video. Okay, so before I get into this video, y'all see the title of it. I'm gonna give y'all the dibs like I promised. Once that deployment ended, I promised y'all that I was gonna give y'all the dibs. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna break down as much as I can, and then I'll explain the pay and how I made what I made and how I could have made a little bit more, but you know, I took time off here and there on the weekends and different things like that. Some of my counterparts were really up in the six figures within 10 months. So, well, yeah, 10 months or so. So keep watching and we'll head into the video. All right. So the deployment started on August 20th, no, 15 something, mid-August of 2021. Okay, it ended the latter part of November of 2022. Okay, we worked 63 hours a week, 40 hours of straight time at $40 an hour, 23 hours of time and a half, which would put you at $60 an hour. Okay, so that's where your bag gets heavy. That's where you make your money with the overtime. It's with the overtime. I'll put a little clip right here for a second just to show y'all what I made. I think from January to the end of October. And keep in mind, I missed days. I went on vacations. I took weekends off, long weekends like Friday, Saturday. You know, so I still made six figures, but I did miss. I took a lot of time off because for me, the money is important, but it's even more important to spend time with my friends, my family, my children, my grandchildren. Okay, but I had some peers that were sitting there with me, like they were way up, like 110, 115. Okay, but I'll put a clip here so y'all can see. No cap. Ain't that what you young folks say? Okay, so the total loss deployment, all I had to do was settle the total loss. So this was different in the effect that I did not have to determine liability and I did not have to clear coverage. Okay, the coverage is the coverage is not so bad. The only coverages that I had to clear was if there was a change in the policy within 10 days of the accident, policy renewal within 30 days, someone added to the policy 10 days before or after the accident, a coverage added such as rental or something like that, med pay or something like that. Other than that, I did not have to clear coverage. Okay, liability is one of the biggest things when you're owning a file and you're working a file. We did not have to determine liability. Liability determines fault. Which party is at fault, right? Do we put 100% of the liability on one party, or do they have both take part in it and we decide who gets this percentage or this percentage when it comes to who caused the accident or what caused the accident? So I didn't have to do any of that. That was done, right? Which was a big deal for me. So all of us was like, well, what's the catch? It's got to be a catch. There's absolutely no way the coverage is done, the liability is done. Like, we just have to, oh, it's got to be a catch. Let me tell y'all what the catch was. The catch was we had a rolling 100 features, which meant if we closed 20 to 25 features this week, we got another 20 to 25 features the next week, which kept us at 100, which is a lot of work to look at. Like, you really had to manage your desk. It was auto is a lot of moving parts anyway, but to have all those features, you had diaries assigned to each one, and you had to manage your desk. I did a really good job at that too, I must say. So what would we do with the total loss? We would have to move cars from the shop, from the repair shop to the carrier's yard, or from the tow yard. After you have the accident, they tow your vehicle to the tow yard. We will move it from the tow yard to the shop or from the tow yard to the carrier's facility, just based on the damages. Sometimes, if it was an obvious total loss, I would take it from the tow yard straight to my carrier's storage yard so we could get the total loss worked up, right? Sometimes I could look, I'll have them send me pictures and I'll look, I was like, nah, this is not an obvious total loss. Do you have the shop in mind? We'll take it from the tow yard to the shop, and then we'll go out, inspect the vehicle, and see if it's a total loss or not. And the managed repair reps would do that. That's what their job was, to do that. Okay, so sometimes, keep in mind, when a vehicle is at a tow yard, it's getting charged by the day. It can be from $15 up to $75 per day. That's why it's good to get in there, figure out what tow yard that vehicle's at. I'm telling y'all, sometimes these people don't even know where the tow truck took their vehicle. And we have to find it. They don't care if we find it because they're charging us by the day. I had a claim that had about $5,000 in tow storage charges, and storage charges at the tow yard, I guess I should say. So that's why it was important to jump in there, find the vehicle. Where is that vehicle at? Let's get that vehicle moved one way or the other. Okay, so once the vehicle is determined that it's a total loss, then sometimes I would send vehicles, let's go back a little bit. Sometimes I would send vehicles to the shop to be repaired, and once it gets to the shop and they start to tear down and repair the vehicle, additional damages will be found, and those additional damages would push it over the threshold, and then it'll total. So then from that point, I would work with the managed repair rep on, finalizing everything and paying the shop for the work they've done. And then I'll move the vehicle from the shop to the tow yard. And sometimes I wouldn't even have to pay the shop. The managed repair rep, especially which are field adjusters, if they were experienced and been doing this a while, they'll just pay the shop and they'll send me a diary, hey, shop paid, you can go ahead and move this one. So it was a team effort. So the vehicle's totaled. What do we do next? We want to find out who holds the title to the vehicle. If the vehicle has a lien holder, all these different things. And sometimes that's not so cut and dry. People would pay off a vehicle and they would forget to get the title from the lien holder. So then they would have to go to the lien holder and, get a statement saying paid in full, lien release. It's called a lien release letter. They would have to get a lien release letter showing that it was paid in full and they no longer owe them. So then we could either request that they get a title replacement, or they sign our total loss paperwork, get it notarized, and we'll move forward from there. Or if it's a lien holder, we would call them. We could request a 10-day payoff in the system, or we could get them on the phone and request a 10-day payoff. If more is owed on the vehicle than what we're going to pay, then we have to request a guarantee of title. So what that is for, as an example, we're only paying $10,000 for a total loss vehicle, but your loan is, you owe on your loan $15,000 on a total loss vehicle, which means you're upside down. So we'll give the lien holder, the loan holder, lien holder, the $10,000, but before we do, we need a statement from them stating that once we get that $10,000, we're going to give you the title to the vehicle and you get to keep the salvage. And then what goes on between the lien holder and the insured is between them with that $5,000. They might write it off or set up payment plan or whatever it is. If the payoff matches what is owed, if it's $15,000 owed and it's $15,000 what we're paying, then we don't need a letter of guarantee, right? They just tell us what the payoff is, and then we send them the money and they pay us, and it's done deal. The insured ain't got nothing to do with it. Their loan is paid. They're happy about it. Sometimes you'll have positive equity in your vehicle. We're paying you $15,000. You only owe $6,000 on your vehicle. So what we'll do is we'll pay the lien holder the $6,000, and then we'll pay the insured the remaining amount. you know, what, $9,000. So that's how that went, and those are the things that we did. If the insured or claimant, whichever, holds the title to their vehicle, they had to sign it a particular way. Some people understood it, and y'all gotta keep in mind this was in the middle of COVID, so the office wasn't open. So we would have to walk them through signing a title, and sometimes we would receive it in the office. We would send out a FedEx label to get it back within the next day or two, and it's still signed wrong. So then we got to send out additional paperwork. Sit there, you talk to them, get your niece, nephew, grandchild to come over to make sure it's signed right. Sometimes it's still not signed right. I had one lady had to sign her paperwork 4 or 5 times. 4 or 5 times. She just could not get it right. But towards, I think back in May of 2022, April, May of 2022, we were able to set appointments in the office because the offices started opening back up, and then they would just sign it when they get there. Yeah, that was pretty much how it went. It was a pretty good deployment. I made really good money. Like I said, you should have saw what I made, you know, earlier in the video, because I put it up there for y'all real quick. If you have any other questions, concerns, comments, leave them below. If you have something about claims you want me to go into detail on in another video, let me know. Give me some ideas, y'all. I'm trying to bring something to you guys where it's not just me. I'm talking to my peers that have worked with me and on other assignments, experienced adjusters that's been doing this a while. I want to bring them on so you can hear their take on the insurance industry and, well, within the claims industry and how that works. So, but anyway, I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, share, like, subscribe, and I appreciate the support. Y'all have a good one. I'm anchored by love. What are you anchored by?